The students crest the second floor of Mary Lynn's used books and Emporium. A dusty room. Doesn't look like it sees much use. There are two doors. A window lets in a little bit of a glow, which the students don't need because they've cast the dark sight ritual. Nevertheless, it looks like there are some streetlights in back. This would be the alley behind the bookstore, and they are up on the second floor. Chef, for just a moment, you get a faraway look in your eyes as you are having a vision, and you are experiencing an occurrence on a glassy lake. This lake does not have pure, clear blue crystalline water. This lake is kind of murky, kind of green, as if algae grows in a substantive fashion. You see a small island with a building on it. Through whatever shrubbery and scrub trees grow on that island, there is a larger tree that looks like it's uprooted because of the moisture on this island, just probably sandy, and the tree has fallen over, blocking your sight of a clear vision of what that building. It looks like a ruin, looks like an old building. But you're on the water, and you are in it looks like a pontoon boat, and the three of you are there, and Erica is there. You are all wearing bathing suits or other swimming apparel. It must be a warm day because all your foreheads sort of glisten with sweat. It's a still day. You don't see Erica's Farrah Fawcett-style hairdo blowing in any wind. In fact, her bangs are a little plastered to her forehead. You stifle a chuckle because also with you on this pontoon boat is Glenn Mack, and he looks ridiculous. He's wearing a pink Lacoste pullover short sleeve polo shirt with the collar flipped up, sunglasses, and he's wearing these ridiculous pair of men's swimwear. What's the name brand of the men's bathing suits that like Europeans wear that are very small? Speedos. Yes.
No, Glenn Mack is not in a Speedo and a polo. No.
Oh, God.
Wait just a second while I drop a Benny and Avis trick. He's wearing a pink polo shirt and like dark blue, navy blue Speedos. And his legs look like they have not seen the sun in a great many years.
I can't.
Argyle's there too. His little West Highland Terrier is on this pontoon boat as well, Shep. And you also see, it looks like he's got something rigged up to a power source that's hanging over the side of the pontoon boat on like a piece of metal framing. And it looks like it can be adjusted from topside. And on the shore, where that dilapidated building is, you see an alligator that was sunning itself just lazily slide into the water and disappear beneath the surface. Glenn Mack looks to be twiddling a dial on this apparatus, which is partially obscured by the water, as part of it is down in the water. Could be a camera or some sort of seismic gauge. And it looks like Erica and Sophia are feeding out these little floating, bobbing buoys that are on sort of that plastic rope, almost making like swim lanes, if that makes sense, with the floats. The floats look like they're spaced about 6 feet apart. And the two girls look like they are feeding them out at the same rate. And they're looking at each other. And then you're back here on the second story of the bookstore. You're still laughing. You talk about white legs. Glenn Mack got him.
Shep, what's so funny?
There was also some scuba equipment lying on the bottom of the passenger part of this sort of catamaran, this two boats sort of joined together with a small sail.
Professor Whitelegs is going to be running around in Speedos this summer.
Oh no! I don't want to see that.
And a pink shirt with the collar popped. It's
This man is out here living his best
I
life.
think he's trying to be European. I'm not sure. It's just strange, and I'm really thinking it's making me have second thoughts about this island trip.
Wait,
Oh no!
But Sophia, you need to start working those, getting some upper body strength going, because apparently you're going to be throwing buoys out the back of the boat.
Oh man!
Yeah, plans for that. Gonna work out this summer.
I think
But apparently it's going to be a hot back summer.
No.
Why are we why are we seeing Glenn Mack on our summertime off?
Because we volunteered to do that thing over at the lake. The student extra credit course.
Wait, do we need like a chaperone for this? I thought it was a student course. We don't need no teachers.
Is he the chaperone? Because I'm concerned.
Shep, I dropped you a Benny for remembering. However, you're misremembering to a degree. The student field trip is to the Burn, which is an ashy, arid, desert-like environ. It is not on a swampy kind of lake.
Hey, give me a break. I'm still recovering from the vision.
A Benny found its way into your tray, nevertheless.
Thank you. I will get it straightened out later.
We'll make sure to pack an extra pair of pants just in case.
Pack the brown ones.
Please.
Be forewarned.
Please.
Oh boy.
Give the man, it's a lot more leg than I anticipated being described to me, Shed.
I think we're just lucky he didn't have mosquito bites or poison ivy or something.
No. In fact, he's Glenn Mack is a swimmer. That is how he gets a fair amount of his exercise, and he does have the brawny edge, which means he's a little bit larger than your average male adult. He's physically
yeah, but those were some chicken legs.
Yeah, they were, and the fact that they were just so bright white.
Leg day.
All you keep thinking about is Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I can't with these.
There are 2 doors.
Yes.
You are seeing in the dark. Nevertheless, you know that there is some light coming in from outside.
So there's one door, two doors. Are they open? I'll check
They're
this
closed.
one.
They're closed. They are those. I'm not going to call them flimsy, but I'll call them. They are of the non-exterior door variety, and yeah, they're closed.
And if I fiddle with the knob, is it locked?
It is not.
Oh, guys, this door is open. Like I can open it.
Go
Is the
through all
other
the
one like
doors.
that?
Careful, Ava.
I'm not trying to go through this door unsupervised.
Careful, Toto might be on the other side.
Yeah. She has cautious now, so she's not gonna go anywhere without some backup. Unless apparently she's drinking. Then everything's out the window.
You turn the knob. I mean, I'm not going to say it turns easily. This is not a well-oiled interior door, but it doesn't give resistance.
Okay. So it's not locked, but it needs a little bit of like force to really open it. You gotta fiddle a little bit.
Yeah. Takes
So-
a little bit of wrist turn. And by the way, the upper right-hand corner of this room is cut away. There's a banister, like a railing, that overlooks the stairs and the landing that you came up.
Oh, okay. I see. I'll point at the other door and ask them, is the other one like that? Can you look?
Sure.
Shep, you pass an open box that seems to contain some sort of like science journals from like 15 years ago.
Shep got distracted.
No. What is that? What's in the box?
These are the sort of ones that the cover would be like, build your own hovercraft sort of thing. Extraterrestrials, real or myth.
Okay. We may have to come back for those.
E.T. themed.
Just enough science in there, how to build like a telescope for looking at deep space, and
Love it.
radio modify your ham radio to pick up transmissions from beyond.
I'm here for it.
Shep, that door is also, you turn that doorknob without opening the door. You turn the doorknob and it gives easily, and doesn't seem to be locked.
Okay. It's not locked.
Which one should we go through first?
Let's try this one. And I will attempt to open the door.
Sandwich. A friend sandwich.
Sandwich.
A friendship sandwich.
All I'm thinking of is perfect lightning bolt.
There's no lightning here. We're inside.
Here, let me add something real quick.
Everything is fine.
You open the door. It opens to a room which I've unmasked.
Ooh.
This room looks like it contains relatively worthless items, some broken furniture, some shelves that contain very old records. Probably the magic marker on the side would indicate 10 years or older. Receipts, utility bills. And this room reeks of rat urine. And indeed, there is a little bit of scurrying in the shadows along the walls. And maybe that little skittering, chirping noise that such rodents might make. Almost like they're scolding you.
Okay.
You see the windows over the. It's brighter to the south than it is to the north, because to the north it overlooks an alleyway, which is lit, but not as brightly as the area outside to the south. That's like Main Street. It looks to you as if something. These windows are dirty, right? Grime, filth, dust, and auto exhaust has probably coated them to a fairly thick, almost like a shade that doesn't let in light easily. But you see an almost human-like figure on the window on the outside. It would try to look in if it could, but it can't because it's so dirty. But it looks like there is something moving outside, and you catch about like half of a human, like torso and upper body and arm on the outside. So somebody is hanging on the window on the outside of this second story.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Let's move back into the other room for a second, please.
Like,
Things that make you go,
Don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going back in there.
And Shep is going to attempt to cast protection on Ava.
You pull out a small piece of worn leather, probably cut from a woman's handbag or purse made of leather that you picked up for cheap at a secondhand or consignment shop. Just for convenience, we'll say that you have that leather bound about by a bit of baling wire, as those are the two ritual components required for this protection spell, this ritual.
And let's see if I can.
Oh boy.
Cast this from memory.
So there is there's like an armor spell, and there is a protection spell. I think this is protection, right? Oh,
yeah.
Under armor it says, see protection, page 165. So I must have been like in the back of my mind, deep recesses.
What is the what's the modifier for the protection?
I think it's -2 or +2 or +4 with a raise.
+2, yeah, +2 of points of armor or +4 with a raise.
Okay, it's novice level. It only takes 1 power point, so it translates into ETU as you do not spend 10 or 20 minutes preparing this ritual. You just cast it, and again, this is a dramatic task that requires 5 successes in 5 rounds. And you are not reading this from a slip of paper or something etched. You are casting this from memory.
From memory, I'm drawing the sigils in the air with my hands as we're going. So I think that's 1 success.
1 success in 1 round.
Okay.
Others can assist.
I would love to. Is this another occult thing?
This is an occult thing.
Yeah.
Then I will assist if he'll have me after that critical failure. I don't know how it feels.
Sure.
He's casting. I don't think he really has a choice.
Like, bring the aura of Squirrel Girl.
And okay, and Ava. An occult roll of a 4 is a success. For the second round, of which Shep has not rolled yet, he will add at least a +1, perhaps more, depending upon what Sophia does. And I'm looking at these various effects that you can add to protection, additional recipients.
Yeah.
More armor. Toughness. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that if you want those, on a 1-to-1 basis, I'm just going to make this roll up and see how it plays out, because it feels intrinsically right to me. It's going to take that many more successes at the end of 5 rounds to cast it. So you want additional recipients. It's +1
Okay.
power point per recipient. I'm going to say that means that if you wanted to do it on a recipient and 2 bonus recipients, you're going to need 2 more successes in 5 rounds,
Okay.
or a 7. And if you fail to make it, I think you're going to succeed in casting the ritual. You're just not going to get the little extra skittles that you're trying for.
Okay. That works, because that's what I would probably do, is just try to protect everybody.
I like to, the rule of cool, right? Whatever makes the game more fun. And I think that makes it fun, and it gives you flexibility, and I don't think it lies outside of the spirit of the rules as written. First round, 1 success. Second round, I see a +1 showing. Perhaps Sophia would like to help.
I would.
She gets out a little cheerleader pom-poms. You can do it. Yes, you can.
Scavenging some pom-poms.
Okay. The bubblegum pink dice
No.
failed mightily on that.
I still have bennies.
Bennies.
Let's save the bennies for
Bennies for days.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I
Yeah.
don't know, Sophia. You know that if you give them enough
It's not a
bonuses,
critical failure. I mean,
you might get that armor too.
Uh,
Okay, Shep. It looks like they're happy to. I don't know, Sophia. You want to try again?
One Benny. Just 1 Benny.
Okay, I'll let you.
well,
I'll let you retroactively Benny that.
Ooh,
No
no,
problem.
Ooh,
No
no,
problem. 5 to 5. 5 is a success.
Okay.
A 5 is a +1, and Ayla
so
gave
that
you
would have taken us to a 6.
It's a +2. Yeah, right in the middle.
I
of
did
a
the
success.
one for his second roll, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Two successes in 2 rounds. About average.
I can do another occult roll for your third one.
Sure can. And
Okay.
it's Savage Worlds. These dice can and often do explode
Please,
at the top
yes,
end.
yes.
Jack of all trades, a good
I'm
edge,
so scared.
gave you access to occult. You didn't crit fail. Luckily,
I know.
+1 showing. Sophia, perhaps you'd like to try to help in some way?
You want to do this is the third roll, right?
This would be the third roll. I see a +1 showing. I see 2 successes in 2 rounds so far.
Cool.
What would you like to do, Sophia? Anything reasonable using one of your other skills, or you could do the old intelligence -2.
I will do that because it's
Smarts -2.
yeah.
I'm getting my D&D and Savage.
It
Worlds
worked
mixed up.
well at least 1 time.
Yeah, if you've got an 8. Aces.
Ooh.
Okay, wonderful.
9.
Great. I feel great about that.
A 9, I believe, is a success with a raise. So that's a +3 showing to Shep's third roll.
Nice.
+3 is as much as you can get, so the ladies were very efficient helping out this round. I see a 6. Aces. A 12.
I'm hoping a 12 is actually
Success with
2 raises.
2 raises.
Yay.
That is 5. However, that was only the third round. You can keep going and try to get those extra 2 Skittles.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and try again.
As it stands now, you have cast the spell. The only thing that can go wrong would be a critical failure on your part.
Mhm.
But I think it's worth the risk to give everyone that tasty, and we'll see how that and it's the last roll. When you deem that you're done, will determine whether or not it's with a raise. Round 4. Would anyone like to help?
I did an occult roll and I got a 4.
It's a +1 showing in round 4. We've already hit 5 successes. Sophia, we can do a smarts -2 if you like, or you could use another skill. Your choice.
We're going to do the smarts again.
Okay.
And hopefully I don't ruin this badly.
No. You aced.
Every time I have like 0 faith in myself, I seem to do well.
That is a
Oh
6
my
total.
God.
So I see +2 to Shep's roll. A 7 is a success. 4, 5, 6, 7. You need one more success in the last round to
Yeah.
get those extra 2 points of benefit. This final round will also be the round that determines if it is with a raise, which will be the difference between a +1 benefit, a +2 benefit, or a +4 benefit to your
Okay.
folks' armor,
Okay.
which
Cool.
is your parry, right? Yeah. To your parry?
I think it's
No, it's toughness. No, it is toughness. Then okay, yeah, it is toughness. I was just reading one of the skittles. We are at the last round, ladies. Would either of you or both of you like to help? This is the money shot roll here.
A cult coming in hot. Woo!
+1, a success. Y'all are rolling pretty well.
I'm like surprised with the -2 in your smarts. You're doing so well every time so far.
It's a wild die that's been helping too.
Always
Sophia,
gets
would
me
you
by
like to help?
surprise.
If you're muted, we can't hear you.
What happened?
Would you like to help? This is the 5th round of 5. If he gets one more success, all of you will get the benefit of the armor, not just Ava.
All right.
Do it.
Some more smarts.
Oh,
Oh.
It's not a 1, though.
it's not a
It's
1.
It's not a 1.
I still see one success showing from Ava.
It's not us. So
She tries again.
No.
Again rolls a pair of 4s. If the -2 is just a 2.
So a +1.
A +1 showing.
That's a +1.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
It is a success.
Yay!
A 5. Each of you has a +2 bonus to your toughness. Now remember, we did this before, right? We popped open your character sheets, we edited your toughness, and just temporarily added a line item of 2.
Yeah. I right clicked on my little toughness box, went to modifiers.
I
and
see
added
it.
Protection.
I see it.
And it's super helpful.
Just use the armor.
I did the
yeah.
that little box, that tiny little box next to in your
So
toughness.
Yeah, it's got a little silver football next to it.
Yeah.
So is this +2 or +4?
It's +2.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
You needed a
I heard you
raise
mention
on your last roll.
this row. Okay, that's what it was.
And just conversationally speaking, if this was something you were casting against somebody else and you were doing opposed rolls, that last roll would be the one that you would use as your opposing roll. Just as an aside. That doesn't matter in this case, but
there it is.
there you go. Sophia, with a toughness bonus of 2.
I'm less killable.
Marginally so. Still have that nice
Just
soft underbelly.
uh,
All right.
Your parry,
There we go.
your parry is what gets you every time.
yes. Parry of 2
So
is
let's see,
not good.
So that extra toughness will be helpful.
Let's see, +2. I think what we want is it a 2 here?
Did I do it wrong? Because it wouldn't let me put anything in armor. I had to add a line.
Let's see. Huh, it's not letting me type in there either. Isn't that odd? Armor.
Yeah, that's the reason I did the extra one.
Let me just try like a
Mm-hmm.
protection spell, maybe, and then add a 2 to that. Let's see where that shows up. Nope, bumps it up from 5 to 7. Why isn't it in the little football? Oh.
I have no idea.
Oh, there's an armor ritual right there, +2. We'll check that. I guess you have to double click on the little football, not in the text field.
Ah, okay, so
yeah, it's an experimental science. We learn these things, and I guarantee I'll forget by the next time that we. I guarantee.
Yeah,
we'll forget.
It happens sometimes. It's fine.
And we're looking good. Everybody's got a little 2 in the little football, and toughnesses of 7, 7, and 6.
Yeah.
good.
Good job casting that ritual. You guys rolled well.
We're protected
and we'll be
from the creepy thing in the window.
Rewarded for it, I hope. You backed out. You backed out into this other room to do it, and we'll say that you probably closed the door, as there was no reason really to keep the door open, and you hear scratching right at floor level.
Oh no!
Scratch, 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 scratch. You hear that little chitter, 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 chitter again.
Nope. It's a whole lot of nope. Nope. Can we go over here? Because I don't like that one.
Okay, I am.
It didn't seem that bad. I feel brave. I feel strong. I think that room is fine.
So far we have Squirrel Girl. Sophia is Batgirl. And I'm not sure who Shep would be. He's part Cajun, Louisiana. He'd be Gambit.
Yeah.
Very good. Shep, your hand is on the doorknob. Do you wish to turn it and open the door?
Yes, I'm also going to have my pocket knife out.
Okay. Oh, the door pulls towards you, just incidentally.
Yeah. So we all back up in a train motion.
Ava, if you want, you can climb up on one of those wooden crates. They're boxes, but they're also crates.
Yes.
Ooh, that might not be the best place. If you tumble pell-mell over that railing, you're going to flip over. You're going to fall down into the staircase.
I mean, I will wherever there's a box.
We
you know what?
don't need to
chest right here.
Sure.
We don't need to have to explain why you have butt bruises and more.
I'll stand on this chest, and I'm gonna have my super soaker out with holy water in it.
It's reasonably sturdy,
that's
you know.
The creepy little figure that we saw out that window, and I'm ready to spray somebody with it. It's like, I've got you now.
Okay.
And I pulled the door open, kind of stepped back.
Okay. You momentarily see a rat run north into that pile of debris. It's probably chittering and scolding you. Chitter, 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 chitter. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Wow.
If I ever run the Study Abroad has an adventure that is set in Italy, you know there's going to be a underground catacombs portion of that with rats.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
probably
yeah.
vampires. If not, I'll add my own
Ooh.
and stir. Yeah, you're looking back into this room, dimly lit, a little
Mhm.
brighter to the south than it is to the north. Just smells of rat urine,
Mm-mm-mm.
little piles of debris, cast off furniture, old boxes with old records.
Nope, not a fan.
It's interesting that you said Sophia that could look like Batgirl because it looks like whatever is hanging and trying to look in the window, you see not only half of the torso and an arm, but you swear there is a wing.
Oh God, that's
Oh.
not
Is
the
that
thing
a
from.
imp out there?
It's hard to tell because it's really a dirty window. And you imagine if you cleaned off the window on the inside, it's still, I would say most of the dirt's probably on the outside. These windows don't get washed very often.
But wasn't there a different bat thing that was like feeding on what's her name?
There was a bat thing.
That thing on what's her name?
From
Yeah.
from the
Lily
science
Boatwright.
building.
Lily Boatwright.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
because it like
okay.
disappeared.
Man, is there some creepy red eyes out there? Are we being harassed by Mothman? Like, what's happening?
I-
I don't like it.
I suppose it's possible.
Shep, what is out there? Do I need to shoot it with my holy water?
No, because that would mean we would open the window.
Do I need to go Terminator somebody with this shotgun right now? Like,
Although my thought is let's see if we can find this hidden door.
okay.
I don't know if I want to go into it with something funky that could be being warded off.
I don't know either. I mean, if the thing is still out the window, can we like throw something at it? I don't know.
That would break the window.
The window, let it in.
You know what?
These windows are dirty and they're old. You don't imagine they've been replaced with those more recent energy efficient double paned or triple glazed pane glass. You imagine these are like not antique glass, but certainly very old and very soot covered.
Mm-mm. No thanks. Are you sure we shouldn't be checking the other room, Shep? Are you
It's
totally?
over here. We might as well look first.
Shep, when
Go
you
ahead.
enter,
Follow
Shep,
Yeah.
when,
Shep in.
about when you
He's not alone.
where you just terminated your movement, your stomach does a kind of a flip flop.
We're on the right path.
I'm just gonna pop my head out this door and just stare. Like,
Get in the sandwich, Ava.
my sandwich has left without me, and I don't want to go.
You're the salty ham filling between the two pieces of rye bread.
I am between the two white bread.
Whatever that figure is that is hanging from the top of the windowsill outside shifts over to the next window. By the way its head is bobbing, it is trying to look in, but it's probably having as little luck looking in as you would looking out. At least he is backlit by lights.
Mhm.
And you do have the benefits, of course, of dark vision, the dark sight spell.
Yeah. This is why I didn't want to turn the lights on.
Yeah, when you say that, you look up and you see there's a electrical light, like a light bulb, hanging from a length of cord, probably about 2 feet above your head, and it appears to be black on the bottom. That light bulb looks like it burned out years ago. It's not broken,
Gosh.
but even if you flip the light on about where Sophia is, probably wouldn't go on. Long burned out.
Okay.
You found something yet?
I think we're in the right spot.
That figure moves back to the other window. It's now back at the corner window, if you will.
Come here, Ava. And I'm motioning.
Just like taking like a heavy breath, like gotta go into the comfort of my white bread sandwich. Fine, I'm here. I have my super soaker. Like she looks like a child if she didn't already, with the little bag on her back. That plastic thing
Oh.
is probably sloshing with holy water.
Well, that elf, Irondrar, he did ask you if you were a hobbit.
I think I'd like to, because I'm still thinking secret door, and I do remember this looks to be the room, or the vibe in this room, the broken down furniture, mice and rat, is what I basically remember about what happened before we found this secret door from my vision from many weeks ago.
Should we be moving some bookshelves?
I'm thinking over here where these two books are, that's going back into the, because that looks like they're, if thinking about the position of everything, I'm guessing that way is where the would be closer to where the barista thing is below.
Can I investigate like around where these two bookshelves are to see if there's any indication of like scratches on the floors, to see if this has been moved, stuff like that?
Ordinarily, I'd say you'd have to have a light source, but since you guys can see just as well as if it is a sunny day outside, afternoon, I will let you make a notice roll.
I have rolled.
I saw you make the roll. Oh, there it is.
Yay. 4.
I will try to look as well.
Ooh.
Sure enough. Huh. Well, let me make that a little bit bigger. Okay. There is indeed that there's like on a clasp. You unclasp that shelf from the wall, and it does look like it is hinged and wants to swing away. And we'll say there's two effects. Number one, it does separate from the wall just a little bit, indicating that although there is stuff on the shelves, it's counterbalanced very well. So it would take a minimum of effort to open this up as if it was a door. You could probably do it. You could probably do it with 2 fingers. And the second effect would be a little, as kind of like this area has been sealed up for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So they were as neatly armed as we were. I look over at Sophia and I go, is our friend still up at the top of the
window?
I look over at the window to make sure.
Oh yeah. Indeed. I'm not going to say it's agitated, but it is moving back and forth between those windows more rapidly than it was before, where it seems like every 15 or 20 seconds it flutters or climbs back and forth between those two windows.
Okay.
Don't like it. Mm-mm.
I Tell
Oh,
Sophia.
it's friendly. Come on.
It's
We don't-
Mothman.
Oh no.
It could be your
I
buddy.
don't think we want to find out.
A lot of things with wings have turned out to be pretty demonic. if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah.
Like
And
wing monkeys.
to be
No.
fair, they usually go after Ava and Sophia.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
You know, I mean, we're pretty paranoid.
Chef usually has to be afraid of Ava's or Sophia's stun gun.
Might
so-
get shot.
Is somebody there? Hello?
Oh
Is
gosh.
somebody there?
Oh no. Oh, is there somebody
Shh.
behind this door?
Is
Hello?
that voice familiar to us?
I can hear you. Can you help me, please?
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is it
Okay.
coming from the window?
It is not. In fact, there's nothing in the window now. It seems to be coming. The voice
Oh,
seems to be.
shit.
The voice seems to be coming from inside whatever's behind that. The room that is behind that secret door.
Okay. I go, Sophia, go shut the
What?
door coming in here and lock it if
Oh.
that thing's gone.
Okay, I will go back to the door and close it behind us.
Please.
Okay, you close it behind you.
Okay.
It's a. I mean, I'm not going to call it flimsy, but it is a.
I know,
It is
but
an interior door.
Yeah.
The hinges make a little bit of a noise. You don't think it could easily be opened quietly.
Right.
This is not an area that is occupied usually. There's not a lot of traffic. Maryland doesn't seem to come up here very often. Judging just by the state of
so
the materials around here.
I try to move Ava back into the sandwich zone.
I'm in the sandwich zone.
Hello? Is someone there?
I will come over here and try to open it up because from what I remember about what we had from the compendium, this was warded to keep bad things out
Right.
Yeah.
And
or
it is-
supernatural out. So
It's also soundproof.
Yeah.
So I will. And the reason we can hear is because we've already kind of pushed it in and opened it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
So I
have
was going to say, if you said no, we were booking it like we heard that leprechaun in the bush.
You're like, oh no, it's just voices in your head,
I will slowly open the door further out.
Like I said, it's counterbalanced in such a manner that 2 fingers you can easily
Yeah.
open it on its screen.
And then what can I see in the room? If anything.
Well, since you have the dark side spell.
We've come well prepared.
You see a portion of the room as you peer in. You see a small table with probably a couple of candles sitting on it in like little pewter dishes, a couple chairs. This area doesn't seem to be as dusty as the region that you are currently occupying. You see what appears to be a silver circle made of metal that looks like it has been in some way like tacked down to the wooden floor. And looking across the room, you see what can only be a shelf containing ritual components. Probably some books.
I get a little slight smile. Do I see where the voice is coming from?
You peek around, and I will show you the remainder of this room. You do indeed see the rest of this room. You see a circle in red on the floor with candles, black candles that have been burnt down to nubs, and perhaps a few silver coins spaced evenly about its perimeter. You see another chair and a table. You see the rest of the shelving, which does appear to have small jars, wooden boxes, perhaps some cardboard boxes. Inside this red circle, you plainly see with your ritual on your eyes what appears to
Mm-hmm.
be a gal wearing very outmoded clothing. Like, I'm not going to call it a poodle skirt, but you can imagine it's kind of like a poodle skirt, with kind of
Very
her
60s.
hair's like stacked up in a is it called a bouffant hairdo?
Okay.
Like a
S-
beehive?
Yeah, like a beehive. Like
Oh my
maybe
goodness.
she ends up singing for the B-52s or something like that. It's stacked up. You would call it big hair, stacked up tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got bangly copper bracelets on her bare arms, and she's like, "Please tell me you're real, and you're really here, and you're not just my imagination playing tricks on me again."
Depends. Who are you?
My name is Judith.
Oh. Oh.
At one
On
time,
the paper.
At one time, I was kind of she thinks for a moment, the caretaker of this secret room. It is where we came in secret to cast our rituals, unbothered, in private. Now, I don't know what I am. I've been here so long.
Why were you left like this?
You. She points at a wall that you can't see because it's immediately to the north of the secret
Mm-hmm.
door, and she says, "The convergence." The
Can
convergence.
I
You
roll?
see it?
Can I roll a cult to see if I know what it's about?
You can roll at
Say-
-2.
Okay.
What ship? What's going on? What is that? Who is in there?
I think you're typing 2 in the, or did I type
Yeah.
that in the chat box? Oh, that was me trying to add a 2 to your score, and it was going to the die roller page, part of the UI.
What did that show up as? Because it looked like it.
It looked like
was
a 4 and a 2 to me.
okay.
And a
So
-2. It's a 2. No, doesn't really ring a bell.
oh, I don't need to do this, but I'm going to because I really want to know. My occult side is coming out.
Your eyes are drawn to some of the jars look like they might have had liquid in them at one time, and they are dried.
So it would be a 5 because I forgot the -2.
You recall a discourse that you had with Glenn Mack regarding ley lines, and these are like lines of magical power that crisscross in the sky, some at ground level, some several tens or perhaps hundreds of feet up in the air. And places where 2 of them cross are areas that magnify ritualistic powers. They're almost like electrical conduits that you could tap into. With this success, I will also give you that you recall seeing similar crossing of lines in the sky in your vision, where there was a man, a broken, bloody young man, with his limbs and his neck akimbo, and part of the right side of his face just scraped to raw meat, begging you to kill him. As a young girl, a young student-aged girl, stood there atop this building amidst the crenellations with you. The sort of the top of a rook chess piece.
Mm-hmm.
That was what the rooftop where you stood, and there was a clock tower as well. I believe you deduced
Right.
what building that was.
Yeah.
There were also lines of power in the sky that crossed in that vision that you had.
Okay. So I kind of have some idea what she's talking about.
Mhm.
Okay.
The convergence. We tried to stop it. We knew how to stop it, but they didn't want us to stop it. They gleaned great power from it, and we posed a threat, and they trapped me here.
Ooh,
So
where's
long
the
ago.
age?
Please, what year is it? I stopped counting years ago.
Oh,
And you
1990, blah,
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 blah.
not that long.
I will try to step into the room.
What are you wearing, Shep? Like jeans and like Doc Marten boots, maybe, or tennis shoes?
Yeah. He would probably he would probably be wearing his the same getup that from the jeans, say t-shirt and the
Okay.
Converse.
Okay. So she says something like, well, I guess fashion hasn't changed that much in 40 years.
Converse, yeah, Converse has been around for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 50s, I'm thinking of like the Fonz, right? Blue jeans, a white T-shirt, kind of a leather jacket. The hairstyles have certainly changed, and she might remark to that. Shep, behind you, to your character's left, like to the west, just sort of on that wall between you and Ava, there was a large map of the area around Pinebox. You recognize, I mean, it says, East Texas University on one side, and the shape reminds you, with a few slight changes, of the university. It looks like the shape of the football stadium is different, and there are more parking lots, you think, today than there were then. It looks like Pinebox looks about the same, the town of Pinebox, although it's a little less sprawling in the map. Looks like perhaps a few neighborhoods may have been built since this old map, which is kind of yellowed, a little bit faded, and a little wrinkled. But what really draws your eyes to this map is the fact that there are many, many stick pins in this map. And these many, many stick pins are joined with pieces of colored yarn, making almost like a spirograph design of lines. Some of them are in parallel, many of them cross. Many of them cross at a point that is to the east and south of East Texas University and the town of Pinebox, generally speaking.
Ooh.
We'll say easily 4 of these lines cross at a nexus, or 5, all of different colors, cross at this point outside of town on this map.
Okay. I'm kind of looking around. I'm just looking at the different ritual circles.
Okay.
And just trying to see if I get an idea. Was this meant to keep evil out or in?
The circle where you are now, which is made of sort of silver and it
Mm-hmm.
seems to be tacked or nailed to the floor. Make an occult roll at +1.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for Sophia. Look in here. There's weird stuff in there. Do we also see this girl?
You hear her. Yeah, perhaps you see her
Oh boy.
if you kind of peer in a little bit.
Just poking my head in. Got my super soaker.
So
Not
I got
by
a
guessing,
6.
but you know.
This silver circle of metal, this really doesn't appear to be a binding circle. This appears to be a
Mm-hmm.
circle of focusing. With a roll of a 6, I will give you that you will get a bonus to any ritual that you try to cast within that circle.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I know where I'll be sending if we have to fight.
Oh boy.
And across the and just on the shelf, you see things, and I'm not going to tell you. There are many and varied. I won't try to
Right.
give you the full list, but you see what looks like a bear claw. You see what looks to be a tusk. You seem to see a crystal bowl that seems to hold rattlesnake rattles. Perhaps you see a couple of flasks that hold liquid, and another couple of flasks that look. Well, one looks like it is a phial that had blood in it at one time, but it looks like it is dried a long time ago.
Okay.
There are a couple of stacks of old yellowed parchment and perhaps a few books.
Okay. Out of character. What was her name again?
Judith
Judith.
is what she said.
Judith.
Now you know that
Okay.
there was a Judith Fowler who is one of the Pinebox Protectors. The girl
Right.
from the circle said, "Did Nina and Helen and Jack and the others? They stopped the convergence, right? Did they make it? Did they make it where I failed?"
I
Those are
don't
all the
know about
people
that.
in the photos
Knowing
have.
what I know about the ley lines and the convergence, can I confidently say that somebody at least held it off?
No, but the fact that you're all still here and it's 1911 tells you that somebody did. If the convergence was a thing, that somebody
Right.
did something to thwart whatever the convergence is. And
Okay.
in fact, I will with your just because it's fresh in your characters' minds, you know that the area where these 4 or 5 colored pieces of yarn all cross in a nexus corresponds precisely to that area of the burn, which is in that newspaper clipping that fell out of that book
Yeah.
that the
Oh.
Mary Lynn gave you.
So it
Yeah.
lined up to that spot.
Yeah. They were able to do something. There's even a lasting reminder of that. If you that makes more sense now.
A reminder?
Yeah, there's at that point where all the yarn kind of goes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place there now called the Burn where nothing grows.
A burn. She did it. She did it. They did it. They must have been successful.
Yeah, I
Please,
know
what is your name?
My name's Shep.
Shep, please tell me that they still make root beer floats in 1901.
Yeah.
Three scoops of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, but they're no longer 5 cents.
No?
Oh,
Okay.
no, much more expensive these days.
Oh,
Um,
I do hope again to taste a root beer float. That's memories like that have been what have kept me going for confined in this space here. I neither hunger nor thirst nor tire. I thought I would die from boredom.
Goodness.
what would happen if you leave that space?
Oh, that's true. Have all the years been accumulating, or
I will
did it actually stop?
I will either age and turn to a crone, or I will just start to age normally again.
Okay, well, they don't call them crones anymore. As my grandmother would say, you become a sexy granny.
Should be a sexy granny.
Yeah, this is before they would call them gilfs, I guess. So, yeah. Oh, I'm willing to risk it, but I cannot leave this circle.
Okay,
The coven of crones, the coven of what did you call them? Sexy grannies?
Sexy grannies?
no, that would not go with coven.
No, they trapped me here so that I couldn't leave, and they would try to stop Helen and Jack and the Professor Daniels and Creighton
Mm.
and Nina. Oh, I wonder. Do you know if Nina and Jack ever married? And then she's like, "Oh, they would be in their 60s now. I hope they got married. I hope they had children and grandchildren."
Just because I can't remember. I know
Yes, you know
we
Nina.
talked.
Nina was the ghost
Oh,
in the roost.
I was like,
You all
Yeah.
witnessed
Oh,
her final
yeah.
moments was her hiding the Cross of De La Garza in a trophy case in the basement of the Roost Athletic Complex right outside
Mhm.
the basketball arena, and then she was burned to cinder and ash by a great conflagration. Thinking back, you would think it was probably some sort of magic, not an electrical, fire. That is what was reported in the newspapers.
Oh, that poor
And any of the other names, I know we checked in on some of them, but are any of the other names around that we know of?